We'll call the meeting to order and stand for the pledge. All right, first up is the approval of the consent agenda, which is the minutes from the council meeting of June 17th, 2025, and the regular bills. If everyone's had a chance to read that, has any questions, corrections? If not, then we'll take a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second.
Motion made by Scott, second by Jenny. To approve the consent agenda, is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Motion carries. Next up, department heads. Are there any department heads that have anything that won't be later on the agenda? Okay, no department heads. Next up is a street closure request submitted by the Chamber of Commerce, Windom Area Chamber of Commerce, for Thursday, July 17th from 4 to 7 p.m. They are requesting closure 4th Avenue from 10th Street to 9th Street, 9th Street from 3rd Avenue to 4th Avenue, and 4th Avenue from 10th to 9th Street for hot dog night on the downtown square. Again, the street closure would be from 4 to 7. They're serving hot dog meals along with an ice cream social. The Cars and Trucks Club will be having a car show. The street department will drop off barricades and pick them up, and Police Chief Scott Peterson is fine with the request. So we would take a motion to approve the street closure request.
I'll make the motion to approve the street closure request.
I'll second that.
Motion made by Jim, second by Jason. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next up is the alley vacation. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm having some. There we go. Okay, so we will open a public hearing on the proposed vacation of the alley, which is, what is that building called? I'm sorry, go ahead.
It's the alley between the former Smith Appliance Building and the Soil and Water Conservation Building. Yep, and it's, the legal description is alley between Lot 7 and 8 and Block 12 of the original town site.
So is there anyone here? We'll open the public hearing. Is there anyone here that would like to speak? Diane, please have a seat there. Hit the button so your mic is on when the red light is on. State your name and your address, please. And typically this is a 3-minute comment period, but if you need to go on or come back up, I think that'll be fine. There's not, unless you want to speak on that too, I think you'll be good.
Diane Kruger. I live at 605 Prospect Avenue, Windom, Minnesota. I am a business owner and property owner on the square in downtown Windom. I speak in opposition to this vacating the alley. I think we need to look at the history of that alley and the business that it has served in the past. I've lived in Windom over 35 years. Smith Appliance was in that Smith Appliance building for many of those years. Carl Smith would use that alley to have product delivered, to load and deliver to people's houses the product that he sold. Just because that building does not currently house that type of business doesn't mean it won't in the future. And I think that if you vacate that alley, it makes the access to that building more difficult for any potential property owners in the future that might have a business. And I think that we want to be pro-business, and I think vacating that alley is the wrong signal to send for what, one parking space? And you're saying it would gain 3 parking spaces? I think that if you look at the logistics of that space in the alley, if you have a semi delivering, if you close that alley access off to that building, that's going to be very, very difficult for a semi to get in there to deliver product in the future. So I strongly oppose vacating that alley for those reasons, and I am curious that a resolution approving the vacation is already on the agenda when you're just having a public hearing now. Has there been another public hearing about this alley vacation that I've missed?
This is the public hearing for it, but it's been discussed at several council meetings to start the process to do the vacation.
Right, but don't you want public input before you make a decision?
That's what they're doing with the public hearing.
Okay, so I encourage our council members to vote no. Thank you.
Thank you, Diane.
Madam Mayor, if it helps, the owner of the Smith Appliance Building called today, and they don't have an opinion one way or the other. He said, I'm not opposed to it, not necessarily in favor of it. He said if it is vacated, he would like to talk to EDA and the owners of the building next door because he wants to turn it into parking for his tenants. So he sees an advantage if it is vacated. But he was agnostic as far as either being supportive or opposed to it. So he was going to leave that decision to you all. And just for Diane's benefit, or the public's benefit, this was initiated, the owners of the Soil and Water Conservation Building were the ones that approached the council and asked for the vacation.
And
No, they're local owners of the building.
And also the current tenants of the old Smith Appliance Building are also in favor of vacating the alley and having that additional parking for their business as well. So I guess from what we're hearing, or what I'm hearing as council, from the people that have been at prior meetings and the people that we have spoke to about this, everybody so far has been in favor of vacating this alley.
But also definitely appreciate you speaking on it and your opinion on it. I think it's definitely things to consider. But I'm glad these two said that, yes, like it was initiated by the local owners. It is a Soil and Conservation Water building, but they are tenants of two local people own that. And we had a meeting here, I guess it was a public hearing. I can't remember the,
It was for the alley improvement project.
okay. So they spoke on, in asking to possibly have it vacated. It's very costly for them otherwise. And then I spoke with Kelly also, and she's very excited about the parking. She has one parking spot, and I have to think that it will free up other parking spots too if he turns that into parking for the tenants that live in those apartments up there, because I think they all struggle to find parking, so, yeah. But very much appreciate you speaking on this. Does anyone else have anything?
Did the city have to plow that and take care of the blacktop and so forth? So it'd be a savings for the city also. I mean, I could try, I don't think I'd try to get a plow in and out of there when we had like a snow like we used to get years ago, so.
And it'll be the savings on this street, this alley improvement project also, because we won't be doing that.
Is there anyone else that wants to speak for the public hearing portion of this item on the agenda? Okay, so I'll close the public hearing. And then we have resolution approving the vacating, I'm sorry, I can't speak tonight, of an alley described herein. The alley we spoke of before, the legal description, lots 7 and 8 in block 12 of the original township of the city of Windom, So do we have a motion to introduce?
I'll introduce this resolution to vacate the alley you just addressed.
I'll second.
Okay, the resolution has been introduced by Dennis and second by Jenny. Is there any other discussion on this? All right, we'll take a roll call.
Quaid,
Yes.
Benson,
Yes.
Sherman,
Yes.
Esplin,
Yes.
Nelson.
Yes.
All right, the resolution has been approved to vacate the alley between the USDA building and the Old Smith Appliance building. Next up is the 2025 Street Project Bid Award Resolution. John, would you like to speak on that, or I can go over this too, or Steve, would
Yep,
you like to?
That's okay. So the city council had approved the plans and specs for this project and also called for bids. Last week, I think it was Wednesday or Thursday last week, the bids were opened. Our street superintendent, along with our engineer from DGR, opened the bids on this. We got 3 bids for the project. They're shown in the resolution that's in the packet. The bids were from Crow River Construction, Savot Excavating, and Dunnick, Inc. The project bids ranged from $509,329.30 up to $803,360.75 for the base bid. And the base bid was for the alley project as it was designed, and then there's an alternate. The alternate was that alley. So if that alley was going to be included in the project, that was the alternate expense on this. If the alley is going to be vacated, as was just done, now it's not part of our project. So we would be asking that the council accept the low bid from Dunnick for the project bid of $509,329.30 and to reject the alternate for the alley, as that has now been vacated and will be turned over to private property owners.
So we're looking for someone to introduce the resolution to accept the bid from Dunnick Inc. for $509,329.30 and reject the alternate $36,951, correct?
I'll make
make
the
the
resolution to accept the bid for to Dunham, I think it was?
Dunnick, yes.
Dunnick.
I'll second.
Scott has introduced the resolution. Jim has second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll have a roll call.
Benson,
Yes.
Sherman,
Yes.
Esplin,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Quaid.
Yes.
All right. Well, that has been approved, and that was a nice bid that came in. Should save us there, so that's exciting. Moving on, does anyone have anything for new business? Nothing for new business?
We had a couple special meetings last month and then the 2 regular meetings, so you earned a light agenda this evening.
That is kind of nice. I think, are we going to break a record here tonight?
If we quit jabbering and keep
Okay,
going.
we'll get it done then. Does anyone have any old business? Come on, guys. Just kidding. Anything for old business?
Just a reminder that July 29th, the council is doing its last leg of the facilities tour. That's a special meeting that will start at 5 o'clock, and you'll be visiting the liquor store, the pool, the community center, and the arena.
Thank you, Steve. Does anyone else have anything for old business? All right. Council comments. Would anyone like to start? Scott?
Just with the weather getting warm now that it is summer and everything's heating up, just keep an eye out for your neighbors and yourself and your family members and the children. Make sure they're drinking a lot of water and try to keep everybody cool, because it is going to get hot because it is summer. So just try to take care of each other. Thank you.
I don't have anything.
Dennis has nothing. Jason?
Ladies and gentlemen, we may have set a record.
Enjoy the 4th, but be safe.
Okay, I'll make it fast. I do want to, just because I got a message on it today, there are some very concerned citizens about fireworks going off, and I hate to be a fun hater, but just a reminder that not only does Windom have an ordinance against the big fireworks, the state does as well. So the person I talked to today was concerned about veterans and pets, so please be courteous to your neighbors. And the only other thing I have, because I know she's watching, is happy birthday, Mom. My mom is 66, and I wish her a very happy birthday. Steve, do you have anything?
No, Madam Mayor.
If no one has anything else, not to rush it along, but we'll then adjourn this meeting by unanimous consent.
Thank you.